This is a learning and exam preparation video for the IB Business syllabus. At the end of the video are practice assignments for you to prepare you from the exams. Please click www.intmace.com on the link at the bottom of this video to do the assignments for this topic. Unit 1.2, Types of Organization 1. Sole traders and partnerships. Distinction between the private and the public sectors. The distinction between both types of enterprise is that private limited only will sell private shareholds in the business those who are familiar to investors, such as relatives, the family, and associates. A private limited partnership restricted the available funding but enables more power. If the corporation chooses to become a public limited company, therefore it must sell its stock to the public. Public access opens the chance to secure vast amounts of money. The key characteristics of profit-based, commercial, organizations. Sole proprietorship. Partnerships. Companies or corporations. For-profit social enterprises. Cooperatives. Micro-finances. Public-private partnerships, PPP. The main characteristic of all these kinds of businesses is that revenue is one of their main goals. The income received by a company can be seen as follows. Profits equals total revenues minus total costs. All the profits the company receives over a certain amount of time is total revenues, which is also referred to as sales. Both costs accumulated by the enterprise are total costs in the same year. The difference between the types of organizations is shown in the picture below. The revenue, expenses, and profits in different types of organizations. Sole traders. Most startups normally start with a small capital and a basic structure. Faced with certain restrictions, they choose to be the sole trader, sometimes referred to as the sole proprietor, the easiest mode of business to organize and manage. Becoming a trader is the only way one can do several things: be your own director who watches a demand shortage and wants to react faster, create their own unique items and goods, serve the community, or simply live their own dreams. Key characteristics of sole trader business. The key characteristics of sole trader business are: A. They own and operates the business. B. There is no ethical difference between the company and the owner. C. The financial is usually restricted and small. D. However, the business is close to the consumer. E. The owner of the business has confidentiality and strict accountability. F. It is fairly straightforward, cheap and fast to register the company. The benefits of becoming a sole trader. The sole trader has all earnings from the venture, since the owner is not separated from the firm by any legitimate difference. A few other benefits of sole trading include: A. Have a complete influence in all crucial decision-making for the businesses. B. Regarding operating time, choosing goods and facilities, as well as any changes in the operation, the sole proprietorship have complete freedom. C. As sole proprietorship, the details normally does not need to be disclosed. D. The legal requirement for sole proprietorship are minimal. E. Close links to the consumer, who could provide a strategic advantage to the businesses. Disadvantages of being a sole trader. Some of the disadvantages for sole proprietorships are: A. It will be challenging to compete against existing companies by yourself. B. Pressure and possible ineffectiveness can occur when the sole trader handles all of the decision, often with only little time to ask others for guidance. C. In the case of a major injury and death of the owner, there is a shortage of stability since the company cannot continue itself. D. The founder invests all his resources running the company and may have limited space for extension. E. In particular, the funding is small, which can also impose a pressure on the company. More attention will be on getting enough money or daily activities rather thinking forward. F. On any defects, liabilities or errors incurred, the owner is unrestrictedly liable. Partnerships. Partnership is an alternative form of a business. Partnership can be formed when there is two or more people. They can be friends, partners, associates or an individual with common abilities. Professional individuals such as physicians, lawyers, accountants or even consulting companies are very common with partnerships. Partnerships' key characteristics. The partners make the decisions together. More than one individual owns and manages the company. Between the company and associates there is no legal difference. Fund is generally more accessible than a single merchant company. In partnership form there might be sleeping partners. There would have more divert in operation for partnerships compared to sole trader. The transparency of partnerships is usually higher than that of a single dealer. Usually, partnerships are more sustainable than sole traders and are more likely to continue. The profits will not to be divided equally by partners. Advantages of partnerships. A. As partners frequently possess diverse qualifications and abilities, partnerships sometimes achieve productive work by specializing in and dividing the workforce. B. In addition, partners provide a company with more experience than one individual would. C. As partnerships they typically have more exposure in financing since they have lower incidence but higher stability. D. Partners may assist in crises, illness or are on vacation. E. Partnerships are most likely to continue and if a partner dies the company does not immediately come to an end. Disadvantages of partnership. Each partner has unconditional obligation, which implies that each party has a legal responsibility for all the liability of any other partner's businesses or acts. Partnerships tend to have fewer access to loans from banks and financial institutions compared to businesses operating as corporations. Restricted funding may also stop a company from growing or improving profit-making opportunities. A partner does not have full ownership of the company and must rely on other partners' work and goodwill. Benefits between the partners must be balanced. Partners will dispute, which may threaten partnerships in some of the worst scenario. In short, partnerships are better than traders themselves, but they are also more complicated. Since several partners usually collect more capital than individual traders and because of their high perceived resilience, partnerships are more likely to survive changing market trends and are more likely to extend under the right conditions. Practice assignments, exam prep assignments for the IB Business Studies syllabus. You may now proceed to try out the exam preparation assignments. All assignments will be marked and feedback will be given. Should you need to speak to one of our tutors, send your email to administration@intmace.com. Please proceed to the link www.intmace.com at the bottom of this video to commence with your practice. Please click subscribe to our video if you find the content useful. All the best with your assignments.